When I read a story over the weekend about a parliamentary group of MPs who now want to make it even harder for motorists. And unfortunately, they're the walking and cycling group. I didn't know there was such a thing. I won't be joining it anytime soon, but what do you make of this?
Well, I fell off my chair. Can you imagine actually going to court? You were doing 31 in a 30-mile. How can you get any accuracy for a start in terms of actually measuring things? And, you know, people, and I don't often agree with the head of the AAM and King, because quite rightly, speed limits are there for a purpose. Yeah. But for 1 mile over limit, all that people are going to be doing is staring at their speedometer and looking at the roads. It's a bit like 20-mile-an-hour zones. The same situation occurs. It's mass stupidity, and it's the asylum that's in Westminster for anti-car policies is just growing by the day.
Well, it really is. And these MPs and peers cannot show themselves to be more sort of out of kilter with public opinion, because a bit like the ULEZ conversations we've been having around outside areas around sort of outer London, you know, ordinary people drive cars because they have to. You know, ordinary business people drive vans because they have to. They're not doing it because it's a pleasure, because I can tell you something, it certainly is not a pleasure driving around in most parts of this country for most of the time. You know, I sort of shudder when I have to think about whether it's going to take me 2 hours or 3 hours to get to Sussex on a Friday afternoon, because you just never really know. Roads being closed off, so they really don't know what on earth is going on.
Millions will share your feelings, Mike. I mean, I went to a wedding in Germany on Friday, and I actually hired a car to drive about 100 kilometres, and I didn't spot one pothole. Right. And these are the sorts of things. This country is actually a third world country in terms of motoring policies. And it's so sad that they don't recognise that 37 million people drive. Something like 60 to 70% cannot survive without their car. They're out their vehicles. And certainly the commercial heartbeat can't survive without actually driving on the roads. And this government and local politicians, they keep going for the motorists at every opportunity. They are going to really pay for this at the next election.